Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Starling Girl. And this film is written and directed by Laurel Parmet and focuses on the story of Jem Starling, a young woman played by Eliza Scanlon, who winds up getting caught up in a relationship with a young pastor played by Lewis Pullman. And in this film, Jem lives in a very, very strict Christian fundamentalist community. So her religion becomes such a big piece to her whole entire existence. And her having this connection with this young man and things getting a little bit too physical for the likings of people in this community causes all kinds of outrage in terms of how she has to deal with things. And right off the bat, this is a beautiful film. It's well shot. It feels very intimate and engaging. The cinematography by Brian Lannon really pops. It's beautiful, it's bright. You have this performance by Eliza Scanlon that is powerful and poignant as she has to navigate so many feelings of like this desperate love, this young love that she feels this connection. You can feel the attraction there, but there's also a hesitancy and a fear of committing to these feelings, to these actions, when her whole entire existence is set up in this Christian lens that what she's doing is wrong. And you see her struggle through these very tough emotional tribulations where she's more or less put on trial for her feelings and her connections to Lewis Pullman's character. And, he's not the one who gets put on trial, and how this film navigates the complexity of this really strict Christian community along with the overall sexism and double standards that exist in this community. It's very poignant and moving, and it says a lot. And it feels like a modern witch hunt of like her. Like, there's this one scene with her and her mother, played by Ren Schmidt, and and Pullman's father in the film, really putting Jem on trial, and him being like, "Well, yeah, my son's at fault, but like, I believe you have Satan in you, girl." And it's just like, of course it's her. Like, she's the one being tempted by Satan, not your son, who's been pushing this. He's a young man, but like he's like in his 20s, and like he's the one that's really pushing and controlling this relationship and their dynamic. And the way that you see Scanlon portray this character and the tough decisions that Jem has to make throughout this film. And there's impulsive ones, there's begrudging ones, and you feel all these different kinds of emotions boiling under the surface and at times coming up to the surface. She goes on a challenging journey of trying to navigate this controlling existence that she has. And does she really have this love for this man, or is he her opportunity to get out of it? And you see the layers of this story getting pulled back as we move on through into the second and third act, and really trying to see what Jem is trying to do. There's tense moments where there's a lot of tension and suspense building up. One particular scene of like her hiding out in his house after being almost caught being together. And there's just so many layers to Scanlon's performance, but also Pullman's. And there's just these scummy, like, Pullman does such a great job of subtly letting out, like, his transgressions and his, like, disgustingness to her. And to us, the audience. And the rest of the cast, Schmidt and Jimmy Simpson, it's a strong cast overall. It's a beautiful looking film, and it has a lot of deep emotions and challenges these themes of like these fundamentalist Christian ideas and the restrictions and the sexist bias that we have in terms of these double standards of like, takes two to tango here. And one of these people are tangoing a little bit harder than the other, and he's not the one who's getting in trouble here. And you have that dynamic that really works at the core of this film, but it really is all anchored by Scanlon, who gives a fantastic performance. And overall, this is a very quality drama coming your way from Bleecker Street. Surprise. But those are my thoughts on The Starling Girl. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.